Hello.
Welcome to the Far Left Show. My name is Johnny.
And he also has his voice lost, but I'm Natalie, and I have my voice here.
My voice is lost because I'm sick. Welcome to the Far Left Show. We're talking about the polls. You know, you hear about polls all the time. Bernie was at the lead in one point. Now that Biden jumped into the race, he is winning by about 1,000 points or something right now, I guess. But
30 million points.
30 million points, but we're going to look specifically at four polls in chronological order. We're going to critique some of them and kind of give you our thoughts on them.
We spent a lot of time today looking at these polls and looking at the methodologies and taking notes on them. So we're going to just report to you all about four different polls and just some of the things we found. So the first poll we're going to look at is the EMERSON poll. It was conducted from April 11th to April 14th, 2019.
Before Biden got into the race.
Before Biden announced. So they polled 356 registered Democrats, and out of those, 103 said that they would vote for Bernie in the primary, so that's 29% of those polled, and 85 said that they would vote for Biden in the primary, which is 23.8%. So that poll had Bernie in the lead by about 6%.
This is the only poll that we're going to show that has Bernie in the lead. Recently, and we're about to talk about those polls, they all show Biden ahead since he's announced. And so let's get into the next one, QUINNIPIAC, which is April 26th through 29th. And it shows that it polled 419 Democrats, 456 Republicans, but it's unclear about the distribution of other identities in the poll.
Out of those 419 Democrats, they were asked which Democratic candidate would they vote for in the primary, and 38% said Biden, 12% said Warren, and 11% said Bernie. So the third poll was conducted by Harvard. It's called the Harvard Capps Harris poll. That was conducted from April 30th to May 1st. So this is the most recent one out of the ones we're talking about. It says that 129 out of 292 said that they would vote for Biden in the primary, and 42 out of the 292 said Bernie, which is 14%.
And so the Hill basically said that Biden's frontrunner status was cemented. It was also a surge, and that's a little absurd.
I don't think that this one poll that they did right after he announced should be powerful enough for them to report and say that Biden has cemented his place as the frontrunner. It also said in the Hill that it aligns with other surveys, but they didn't provide any links or names of polls to which ones they're referring to. So, that might be true, but I would want to. My question is, well, which ones? Which ones does it align with?
The last one is our favorite, the CNN poll. This one it's one of the most recent. They polled people between April 25th and 28th, but it was published the 30th, and they had 1,007 respondents, and it had Biden at 39%, Bernie at 15%. And it only showed the favorability ratings for Biden, Pete, and Gillibrand. I don't know why they specifically chose those candidates. It would have been really nice if they showed the other frontrunner, Bernie Sanders, and his favorability.
When they were doing the news show, anyways, they didn't talk about the favorability ratings, right? So in the document, it shows that Biden's favorability has decreased. His unfavorability opinion was 29%, and it increased to 39% in just a few weeks ago. And this is the one where, when we looked at this document, it has a sentence that says, it reflects the national census, but doesn't provide It says it reflects the national census. And maybe it does, but I wanted to see the numbers about, okay, what's the distribution of the races that were polled, the ages that were polled, and we looked in this 200-page document, but nowhere does it give us those numbers. So how do we know that it accurately shows the national census? in my opinion, I think it just needs to be more of a norm for when these polls are released to have the team of statisticians or data analysts go on the news or somewhere and publicly explain in depth their methodology. I mean, they could argue, well, we released these documents, but it's about talking about their statistical methods and bringing it down to an explanation, I guess, that everyone can understand. It's really not that hard. I do it with Johnny all the time.
Yeah.
But like, even with me, like, understanding statistics and math, explain how you did it. Like, what calculations did you do and why? Just to give us more clarity on what the polls mean. And I think that just needs to be more of a norm.
So we have to talk about our CNN poll. We missed the most important factor, which was that they didn't poll people under 50, which to me looks like they manipulated it. What would you think?
Yeah,
Matt?
I mean, to be specific, when you look at the table that says the age distribution of the people they polled, it says NA for people that are younger than 50. So, for example, it says like 18 through 35 or something, and then it just says NA. It doesn't have the number 0, but what does NA mean? That's just very fishy to me, and yeah, it seems like they're trying to cover the fact that they oversampled older voters by putting NA and using some like kind of BS statistical jargon to justify it.
Yeah.
But I don't buy that. So.
And then they report it like Biden's leading without saying any of this stuff, right? So they definitely have an agenda that they're trying to push forward. And we are reporting from Beverly Hills. I don't know why I'm going up there. But we are in Beverly Hills, which is where Biden went to recently for a fundraiser.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, normal people weren't allowed, only people that paid $2,800 to get in. So he obviously, is in the pocket of very wealthy people.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The most frustrating part about that is before that, he went to Pico Union, which is like a lower income community in Los Angeles that also has a lot of residents that are immigrants from Central America. And while he was there, I guess he was talking to the mayor about,
Garcetti.
Yes,
Yeah.
He was talking to the mayor, Garcetti, about immigration and the crisis at the border, and he was like, the reason that there's hordes coming here, first of all, hordes, is because of Trump. And it's just really, and then after all that, he got like whisked off to here, to Beverly Hills, to do his fundraising event where, like Johnny said, selling tickets for about $2,800. So it's just really offensive that, he goes to that community, refers to the residents of that community as being a part of a horde, eats their tacos, and then like goes off to this fundraising event, instead of holding like a rally there,
This guy can't hold rallies because he's going to get protested and no one's going to want to come. So he's going to look like a loser because he is a loser. And the only way he doesn't look like a loser is if you manipulate data, which I think is even worse than a loser. I don't know what that is, a corrupt or a loser who might win the nomination and lose.
And that's it summed up.
That's me shit talking. All right. Yeah.
And that's it.
So thank you for watching our poll video. I know we missed out a really important fact and had to come back and fix it. And yep. Thank you for watching. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Bye.